The internet has taken notice of the similarities between iRobot and the new Robotaxi announcement. The world now has a new drone that's literally made for Kamikaze operations and has, quote, an operator-friendly design, easy to use, for all your Kamikaze needs. New visual shows that the vast majority of new couples are meeting on the internet. Kind of blew my mind. Whoa, look at online Shoutout there. That's crazy, 60%. Turns out you can force ChatGPT to be definitive with its answer, giving you the definitive answer if cargo pants are back in style. A shocking new robot design called a hexapod robot now exists. Second weekend ago that an AI researcher got a Nobel Prize. Artificial intelligence helped virologists figure out more than 160,000 new viruses for us to worry about. I mean, I'm glad we know, but wow, there's a lot of viruses. I'm gonna break down what some of the biggest companies are actually hiring AI experts for right now. We're gonna talk about the enormous economic value that you can get from eliminating age-related diseases. I'm gonna show you how Verizon's actually rolling out artificial intelligence in its call centers right now. There's been some amazing new discoveries from the James Webb Space Telescope, and I just have to throw those in there. So much insight into cosmic history, and wait till AI gets a hold of it. And then there's some people talking about a quantum geometry that might exist outside of space and time, and that's really cool too. There's some new predictions about how once AI agents get out there into the wild, they're gonna coordinate on a scale way grander than anybody ever imagined before. And then I want to show you the answer that the new ChatGPT comes up with when you ask whether or not the Star Trek Enterprise D could take on a Star Wars Star Destroyer. Answer is gonna blow your mind. Make your prediction now in the comments, though. Don't wait till I expose the truth. All right, by now you've probably already heard about the Tesla Rebozo event, right? The stock dropped a lot, but I still thought it was actually pretty cool. I mean, I'm sort of a fan of Tesla, even though Elon's got his, the whole thing politically I don't know about. I'm just saying the company is moving autonomous to the future. I do actually get very concerned about humans driving cars. They just kill a lot of people, and I think a future of autonomy is better. I don't know if you really want my opinion on everything that came out, because I feel like everybody just instantly put out videos, and I'm sort of slow to get these things done because I do more of a digest sort of thoughtful thing. So in the grand scheme of it, I don't think the stock should have dropped. It feels like they're making progress. They have a big vision for the future. Tesla's got a really interesting fleet of cars out there that can be upgraded through over-the-air software updates. I spend a lot of time in the Tesla Model Y in self-driving mode. I trust it in many situations. I consider it safer when I'm, switching lanes. I can see a future where I trust it completely, and I would prefer if the other cars on the road are. Not yet, not today, but I do see that coming. It makes more sense for stuff like Uber Eats and package delivery. They don't look stupid, but they do kind of look like the stuff that we saw in iRobot, which was a little bit of a dystopian movie. As you can see, posted by ChatGPT Tricks. I don't feel so good, Mr. Musk. It's an interesting comment that says the movie takes place in 2023, because that jumping ahead 10 years it might be very normal to see robots that look kind of like that, cars and these robo vans out there. All right, this video for the Kamikaze drone, I thought it was kind of a joke at first, but it's actually a product. I looked into it. It is using artificial intelligence for navigation to literally avoid being detected, get to its target, and then crash into it at full speed. Now, why a product like this isn't just sitting around at the Pentagon, but it's actually online on YouTube, and I guess it's going to be a product people can buy, doesn't make sense to me. I mean, they're literally solving the problem of the fact that there's a high level of skill and specialization required to manually operate a weaponized FPV drone. I mean, who's your market, bro? People who are unskilled and stupid and need to destroy things? That fragmentation warhead is scary effective. Look at the radius and density of the shrapnel hitting the ground. Let's go look at that. All right, so it's got the target acquired, initiate autonomous strike. So now it's out of the hands because the button has been pressed, and now AI autonomy kicks in. Flying down, probably avoiding anything. Whoa, that's crazy. Oh, I see. It explodes right before the target and then kind of breaks into all those pieces. Oh, scary. The drone features advanced computer vision and machine learning software that enables them to track targets from user-defined standoff positions and maintain tracking even when the target is obscured. All right, so being alive, you have parents and they have parents. Have you ever wondered where people are meeting? Well, for your parents and your parents' parents, here is 1965, where most people met through friends, family, bars, restaurants, school, co-working, kind of switches back and forth. Seems like less and less people meet at school as time goes on, more and more at bars. 90s were a crazy time for dating. Then Online shows up in 2008. Boom, overtakes Friends in 2013. Keeps on going. Overtakes, doubles, triples, basically more than everything combined by 2024. Bella says, I think online dating has ruined it for women. I wonder if she thinks AI is going to make things better for women because it can tell you more about who the people are, or if it's just going to lead to more gamification, more like digital showing off and gaming systems that just, it has nothing to do with really finding love. Honestly, it could be either way. I'm not totally sure it's going to be a negative, but it might be. So here's a fun game to play with your favorite LLM. You can actually prompt it to say, give me one word answer. So like this prompt, I want you to think hard, but only give me a definite one word answer to the following questions. Does pineapple belong on a pizza? Yes. Is the 5-second rule legit? No. Really surprised on that one. I really think I've read an article that says not that much bacteria gets on something in 5 seconds. Are cargo pants back in style? You know it. Is it okay to wear socks with sandals? For sure. ChatGPT's got the definitive answer for you. Is it socially acceptable to regift a candle? It is, and I'm thankful for that. Click on this link in the description to join my Patreon. For only $10 a month, you can ensure that I can buy candles to give to people that will be regifted. It's really the gift that keeps on giving. Is a hot dog a sandwich? No. Cats or dogs? Dogs. Dogs. I admit it. I have another YouTube channel where I pretty much exclusively react to cat and dog videos, and cats are funnier, but dogs are more loving. And even though I need humor and love in my life, I prefer the dog. And was that viral dress from a few years ago gold or blue? The answer is definitively blue. According to this commenter, that's exactly why ChatGPT was banned in Italy. What, the socks and sandals thing? They cannot handle the truth? I'll let James know that socks with sandals could absolutely upend the way the government works. They had to do what they had to do. All right, so if you ever see this wheeled-looking bomb thing rolling up to you in the future, and you think, oh, it's probably just like a barbecue or something, like you take the top off and maybe there's a package in there from Amazon. But it's certainly not a spider-like creature that can crawl over things. You'd be wrong. That's exactly what it is. According to the Instagram Circuit Robotics, a new breed of hexapod robots for space exploration and disaster response now exists. Enhanced knee and joints with a cutting-edge transmission system that fixes common issues with legged robots. Everything evolves towards the spider. This innovation boosts each leg's efficiency and even lets them double as arms when needed. It can walk on 4 legs while using the other 2 as arms for manipulation tasks. Nice. I like this guy. Hello, we are wheel experts from Taiwan. What makes you a wheel expert? You just know how wheels work on all sorts of things? I mean, I take that back. I understand why a wheel expert could exist. We got wheels on everything, and they're in so many places. I'm impressed with your job. I see wheels everywhere. So, in kind of a cool little side note, my favorite person in all of artificial intelligence, Demis Hassabis, has won a Nobel Prize. Yeah, we talked in last week's video about how Geoffrey Hinton got one, and then boom, I read in the news a couple days later, he gets one too. Don't get me wrong, like back propagation, deep learning, Geoffrey Hinton, you're the man. But AlphaFold is AlphaFold. You know what I mean? Like, it's out there like drug discovery. Big changes, will impact the world in a huge way, and completely innovative in the problem that they solved. And remember, they did this long before ChatGPT and the Transformer too, and pioneered all the games and all that stuff. So and plus Demis just seems like he, is the right, kind of seems like the right guy. I mean, everybody loves Dario over at Anthropic, but it feels like Demis always wanted artificial intelligence to benefit the world through like science and education, and just didn't seem like he was ever going to be this product focused kind of Sam Altman or Elon Musk pushing the envelope in ways that just purely make profit. And I've always appreciated it. I mean, not like anybody's perfect, and obviously Google's going to push DeepMind's architecture now into all their products, and they're going to compete with OpenAI, so it's not like, oh my God, he's a perfect guy. But that said, it was cool to see that he got the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the groundbreaking work on proteins. Solving the problems of what kind of shape amino acids are going to have when they fold up is so hard. It was a 50-year-old biology problem, and they came from like a totally different direction and solved it, like completely solved it. And it really highlighted the way AI could help solve some really important problems in health. All right, next, let's talk about the Virosphere. So you might have heard of like a microbiome, being all that stuff in your stomach, and then a virome, like all the stuff in our body that's viruses. Well, the Virosphere is like everything in our environment that is a virus. And using a new artificial intelligence model, scientists have now discovered more than 160,000 new virus species, like in one big chunk. So the work was published in Cell, which is like a super prestigious journal, and it is the largest virus species discovery paper ever published. Saying, quote, "We have been offered a window into an otherwise hidden part of life on Earth, revealing remarkable biodiversity." And they did it by building a new deep learning algorithm, they call it Luca-Prot, to compute vast troves of genetic sequence data, including lengthy virus genomes of up to 47,000 nucleotides, and geometrically complex information to discover more than 160,000 viruses. All right, if you've been wishing for an AI-powered tongue for a little while, then we have a step in the right direction for you. There's a new paper published in Nature that talks about how you can use a graphene-based sensor to detect taste. And then you can pair that with some machine learning software, some artificial intelligence software to help it understand the chemical detection better. And by doing that, it can become so reliable, you can tell the difference through taste, kind of in quotes, between Coke and Pepsi. I mean, that's easy for us, but we have real tongues. These are sensors that can pick up changes in chemicals and turn them into electrical signals, which then can be used for things like checking for food safety, monitoring the environment, or lapping up soda and figuring out what flavor it is. So yeah, just by adding machine learning to something that was already a chemical analyzer, we can do a lot more. So think about it. You could use a system like this to process data in a lot of different ways. Like they talk about spotting food spoilage, fraud, and just straight up taste testing food before it goes out to the public. I mean, you know how I feel about AI-powered tongues. Smell, taste, it's totally underrepresented in the AI world right now. This is Alyssa Christensen, and you can follow her on LinkedIn. She's got a great AI newsletter that I've been reading for a little while, and she started talking about jobs that are hiring, and they're doing innovative things with AI. So I thought with the kind of people who watched this video, you might be interested in eventually like working for these companies or being part of this kind of like AI revolution in some ways. So here are some of the biggest companies that are hiring AI expertise right now. Okay, when it comes to straight AI companies, you'll see the big names: Anthropic, Google, Microsoft, Synthesia, NextThink, that's one I haven't seen before, and then Gray Matter Robotics. So you can see Anthropic's hiring in San Francisco and London. I'm seeing cloud solution architects, machine learning engineers, full stack engineers, product managers. Let me check out NextThink. I don't know if you guys have heard of them already, but that's new to me. What are they doing? Okay, so it looks like a software company that does IT deployment. If you're into healthcare and biotech companies, there's Overjet, Modera. When it comes to healthcare and biotech, I mean, think about it. Like, you know, viruses and vaccines are going to be like a whole new AI-driven thing in the future. The pace of vaccines and like rapid deployment and viral things is going to be nuts. So I can totally imagine how Moderna, Pfizer, Overjet, Gilead, they're going to be hiring for AI. Research and develop, like a lot of R&D, research and development. There it is, vaccine deployment for Moderna. Like there's got to be new ways that they're going to test vaccines faster than the way they've done them in the past. And that's probably going to come down to AI simulations and stuff like that. Venture capital, there's Voltage Park, Anduril Industries. Oh, and there you'd be combining AI with robotics for defense. Yeah, it's just like those Kamikaze drones we looked at earlier in the video. Voltage Park, and it looks like Voltage Park is democratizing access to advanced AI hardware. So that's the AI infrastructure sector. But yeah, man, there's a ton of job opportunities out there. So if you're interested in those jobs, think you might qualify, reach out to Alyssa. She's got her own company called Green Pulse Talent and put that list together for us. Would you believe me if I told you that in the United States, we could gain a staggering $38 trillion more in economic gains every single year if we eliminated all of the simply avoidable age-related mortality diseases? I was just kind of shocked. Like $38 trillion? I mean, make a 1% dent in that and it's worth its weight in gold. So to put that in perspective, you have to remember that aging has this huge economic cost, right? From the expensive medical treatments to the lost productivity and knowledge. The treating of cardiovascular diseases alone can cost around $750,000 in a lifetime. If aging can be slowed down, even by just 1 year, the US could see a $38 trillion economic benefit annually. The study suggests that if every region in the world reduced age-related deaths to the level of the best performing areas, so we're not talking about like huge AI breakthroughs here, we would see these kind of massive economic gains. And this is the kind of thing that's mostly influenced by the decisions that we make each day, the lifestyle we have, the healthcare access that we have. And globally, reducing avoidable mortality could be worth up to 23% of annual income for each person. So I'm just trying to keep this in mind, because every day I sometimes make good decisions with food, and sometimes I eat stuff that I know I shouldn't, but I just have a craving and it's there and I do it. But I have to remember that if I was perfect, and I don't expect to be, but if I was with like my eating and my health habits, and I took care of all the things that are actually in my control, it would be like getting a 23% raise on my income. I mean, kind of, like assuming you're an average American. So I don't know, just use it as motivation. You've heard health is the new wealth. It's time for us to have an important conversation about your safety. Not like this has happened to anyone I know, but just because I know where the advanced AI voice synthesis is, it might be time for you to use a safe word when you talk to your friends on the phone. I know, maybe a little silly, but The Conversation wrote a pretty interesting piece called The Dangers of Voice Cloning and How to Combat It. And especially for like the older generation who might not realize how advanced this technology is and get a phone call from what they think is you, and it's saying like, oh, I need some money, grandma, like I'm in jail or whatever. You might want to just tell them, if we don't use this safe word, it's not me, even if it sounds like me. Couple things to know. This is real. With advanced technology, voice cloning can be accomplished to a pretty reasonable degree with only 3 seconds sample of your audio. So if people can just find you on Instagram or YouTube, take your voice, find somebody in your family, and then they target them, they have an opportunity to potentially steal money from them. Some people might be tempted to do that. Also, with only 3 seconds of audio, there's the chance that they could call someone and not say anything and have that person say, hello, is anyone there? I can't hear you. And like, you're pretty much 3 seconds in, and now they can clone that voice, even if it's not up on social media. Imagine they get a voice of somebody who's the boss of someone, or can pull the trigger on some financial thing, or has decision-making power at a company. And with the way you can start to tweak the emotions of how these sound, you can create a sense of urgency, you can gain the victim's trust. Now, this number seemed a little bit high, but this is what the research says. But the research showed that 28% of adults in the United Kingdom faced voice cloning scams last year, with almost half, 46%, unaware of the existence of this type of scam when it happened. In 2022, almost 240,000 Australians reported being a victim of voice cloning scams. Yo, that was 2022. You remember what voices sounded like back then? That's nothing compared to what they are today. So anyways, there you go. Use a safe word if you want to be safe. Or maybe even like a money safe word. Just be like, grandma, if I'm ever going to call you and like I need something of importance, if I don't have this code word, don't send it. Maybe you don't need a safe word like every time you're talking about everything. So Verizon, the big telecom company, and they also provide a lot of fiber throughout the United States and internet access, is using AI to improve its call center performance. Now, it's an interesting use case because they were kind of some of the first to roll it out in the call centers, and they're already to the point now where it's been out long enough that they have some insights. So they're doing things like routing calls to the best agents. They're trying to provide relevant data in real time. So the AI's kind of got some ChatGPT-like large language qualities for the operator to read. And they're using AI to help the staff work more efficiently without having to manually search for information. So in that sense, I'm imagining that it's listening to the call dialogue and just automatically kind of being prompted in the background, like, what does the person on the phone need? So you don't even have to wait for the agent to like look up a question. Oh, in fact, that reminds me of this Instagram reel. Let me see if I can look it up. Yeah, I saw it a couple days ago. It was uploaded by the user Ultmitch. I don't know if it's just like a skit or if it's real, but it could be real. And he's getting this job, and he's just got this AI that's listening to what the recruiter's saying and giving him these answers that were pretty technical for Lockheed Martin. Like, what if he's not even a aerospace engineer, but he's passing these tests? All right, really excited to share this one. Actually, anytime I'm at Quanta Magazine, I have something for you. I'm excited. So this article is called "The Beautiful Confusion of the First Billion Years Comes into View." Astronomers are reveling in the James Webb Space Telescope's discoveries about the formative epoch of cosmic history. By the way, Quanta Magazine is like the best thing out there. But there's like one thing you should subscribe to. It's their newsletter. But basically, there's like these 5 new surprises, and each one of them is opening up like an entire branch of cosmology that people need to work on. Like, there's going to be so many discoveries now. Some of the galaxies are like unexpectedly bright. There's a bunch of metrics that didn't add up about black holes that people need to look into. There's these new strange objects. They're called the little red dots. And then there's this mystery about why some galaxies are shaped more like grapes and bananas instead of the traditional shapes. And maybe throw it away or modify it or update it. It's all because this telescope has this unprecedented ability to peer back into the early universe. All right, now let's switch gears to quantum geometry. Yeah, physicists reveal a quantum geometry that exists outside of space and time. What was before space and time? Well, maybe a quantum geometry. A decade after the discovery of the amplithahedron. Oh gosh. And since pretty much none of us probably know what that means, that is a geometric structure that comes from the world of theoretical physics in quantum field theory, and it's used to simplify the way scientists calculate the probabilities of a particle interaction. So yeah, geometric object that simplifies the calculation of particle interactions. And because of that geometric shape, physicists have excavated more of the timeless geometry underlying the standard picture of how particles move. And then there's this other new thing they talk about called surfaceology, and it predicts the particle interactions in that geometric way without even relying on space or time. So it maybe is like, independent of space-time, meaning maybe it's the thing that was before the Big Bang, the way I'm thinking about it. So these findings simplify quantum physics by avoiding the complex calculations that traditionally come with the Feynman diagrams. And there's been this breakthrough that talks about in the article that there's these 3 different particle theories, and they've shared hidden connections without the scientists even knowing until recently, which suggests that there's this deeper unified structure in particle physics that we're getting closer to. And if we can come up with a new geometric approach, that could eventually help physicists understand quantum gravity and the universe's origins, leading to a revolutionary way of thinking beyond space and time. Join my Patreon to support the channel, /Dylan Curious. Or hit this join button on YouTube. It's pretty much the same thing, but through YouTube instead of Patreon. So there's been a study done on how agents might collaborate and cooperate in the future. And the study suggests that these AI agents are going to be able to collaborate in much larger groups than humans. So if you ever heard of like Jeff Bezos saying like keep the teams to 2 pizzas worth of people, because that's when we or the Dunbar limit, which I think is about 150, which is like all the people you can like actually kind of keep in your social network in terms of like what they do and how they relate to everyone else. But potentially with AI agents being superhuman, 1,000 or more of them working together effectively could result in the kind of collaboration we've never seen on Earth before. So the researchers actually took models like GPT-4 Turbo, and they could find that over 1,000 agents could reach consensus on a problem. And that there is still a limit, surprisingly, that you can find. It's not like this scales infinitely at this point, but smaller models were struggling to keep track of everything with fewer participants. But at 1,000 or more, and these models are going to get more and more powerful, they're going to have better and better long-term memories. This is going to open up like a really kind of crazy, exciting, large-scale AI collaboration opportunity. And it suggests that these AI systems are going to be able to scale way beyond human limits. The moment I know you've all been waiting for. Which starship would win in a battle? A Star Trek Enterprise D versus a Star Wars Star Destroyer?
Ooh, that's a classic showdown. The Star Destroyer has overwhelming firepower and sheer size. But the Enterprise D is highly advanced with superior technology, including warp speed and powerful shields. It could use its maneuverability and strategic thinking to outsmart the Star Destroyer. In a straight fight, though, it's anybody's guess who'd come out on top.
Okay, last time it said Enterprise D would win. I'm sorry, I didn't record that one.
Stop the cap.
And then I asked, okay, what if Darth Vader is aboard the Star Destroyer? Would that help the odds? And they were like, yeah, that would definitely help the odds because Jean-Luc Picard doesn't have like, the Force. I can't believe it changed its answer on me. Dang. It's not up to the fans to decide. The Star Trek Enterprise D has photons.
Lastly, the Enterprise D is designed for exploration and scientific missions, equipped with cutting-edge tech for a wide range of situations, making it a very versatile and formidable ship.
There you go. That's why it's better. Okay, so for our song made from the comments this week, I thought it was cool that people were actually dropping in lyrics or stuff that looks like it would rhyme. So Rob Brown said, I love how you take the words that we say and turn them into melodies that play. So we're going to try that and see if that helps with our song. And then not to be outdone, day one, trying to get into the outro song. I love doing the Dylan Come on, bro. During the final go-in? I don't even know how it's going to handle emojis, but we'll find out. Oh my gosh, $25 super thanks? Oh, how did I miss this on the David Shapiro video? All right, thank you so much for the super thanks. This means a lot to me. Let me know if you ever have any topics you want me to cover. Yeah, I appreciate that, Daniel. Oh, I would pin you, Daniel, but this has David Shapiro at the top, like saying hi, and the video is all about him. So I have to leave him pinned on this one. But normally I try to pin the people who give the super thanks. Here's a $2 one. I appreciate the support. All right, we need one more lyric, though. I'll take this. So long and thanks for all the fish, David. Sad to see him go. Well, I guess we'll read his book. Yep. That's how we can support him. The analytics on that video were insane, by the way. For my channel, like 13,500 views. I made almost $60 on that video. I really appreciate you guys watching it. And the audience was highly female. Also, Rooney X had a really interesting comment where he or she said, where can we hear the full songs? Do you want to subscribe to Patreon? You can hear bangers like this.
From the comment section you create, and soon that feels like it's our fate. I love doing the Dylan during the final gong. So long and thanks for all the fish, David. Sad to see him go too well. I guess I'll go read his book. I love how you take the words we say.
All right, there it is. Hit subscribe, leave a comment. We'll see you guys in the next video.
From the comment section you create, soon that feels like it's our fate. I love doing the Dylan during the final gong. So long and thanks for all the fish, David. Sad to see him go too well. I guess I'll go read his book.
Banger, I like it.